Hello and welcome to this next podcast. And this podcast, you're talking about ageism and how do you turn ageism into your advantage. Okay, so this is what we're going to speak about in this video. And let's begin. So when I quit my job at 50, the first thing I was warned by all the friends who were in recruitment business that it's a wrong age to quit your job because beyond 50, it's very difficult. You'll find it very difficult to get another job. And that's a fact. That's a true. All studies, all research tells us that it is very difficult to get a job once you've crossed 50. In fact, the ageism starts at the age of 40, and 50 is perhaps becoming a new retirement age in many places. Why? And the reasons are very simple. Organizations want to cut cost, and younger employees come at a much lower cost. So you're able to cut cost also because of AI. A lot of things are getting automated. That's again a move towards shifting towards cutting cost. And there's also a feeling that the younger employees are more flexible and they're more willing to learn something, new ideas and new things. So those are the reasons why organizations are shifting towards a younger workforce, and ageism is becoming real. So how do you turn this ageism into something that's your advantage? Let me share from my personal experience, how did I turn it around into an advantage? First of all, I just use experience which is seen as a, sometimes it's a disadvantage, is also an advantage, right? I can actually cut time for organizations because of the fact that I have seen it all. I have dirtied my hands right from the times when there was no internet and when I had to build an organization of integrated marketing communications across the country. I have worked with brands, I have worked with small organizations, I've worked with leaders. I have literally seen everything that can go wrong in marketing. I can get into the heart of the problem very quickly. I have built what is called as a marketing intuition that it takes research time to find out. And there are certain things that I have learned is to observe behaviors, observe consumers, and learn things before the markets know. So these are things which have come with experience, right? So I use my experience first of all as my advantage. I help organizations to cut time because of my experience. That's the first thing. The second thing that happens is you start becoming a brand. You don't, because if you're a commodity, if you're one of the many players in the market, then there are too many choices, right? So you start becoming a brand in your space. So how do you become a brand in your space? First of all, identify your niche very clearly. And once you identify your niche very clearly, become an expert. Become the go-to expert in that space, become a thought leader. And the third thing is, how do people know about you? Start amplifying, start reaching out, start sharing very freely. Many people hold on. They're not out there, not sharing, not giving, not contributing. I absolutely, without an agenda, start giving to, you've seen my podcast, you've seen this very fact that I'm doing this podcast. I share on LinkedIn. I share in many places as I can, and I freely share with people, not with an agenda, not with something that I want to get from them. It is just a giving mindset, right? So that shift in your mindset to give, to contribute your expertise is another thing that will start building. Because if you're present there, if you're consistent there, you, as I tell people, get up, dress up and show up. You need to show up, right? You need to be out there to be visible to people. So that's the another thing. The third thing I tell people, is learn the art of storytelling, because it is the storytelling that is going to be remembered. It is storytelling that starts making you very different in the marketplace. It's stories which are remembered, right? So you need to become a good storyteller. Learn this from any good leader. Look around, watch their podcasts, watch what they speak, what their communications. You'll find that they are very good storytellers. So learn and master the art of storytelling. Whatever your profession is, become a very good storyteller. And do follow me if you want to learn storytelling. That's the next thing. Then the idea that I can give you is cut your cost. Use your cost as an advantage, right? How do you do this? For example, I became a fractional CMO. So what happens is I cut my cost. Instead of working for one company, I work for 3 to 4 companies. And so I'm able to cut my cost. Now look at my advantage. You get the experience of 35 plus years of a person who's seen it all, who can work with teams, internal and external. At the same time, he's available at a fraction of the cost. So many organizations see this as a benefit, and they see the benefit of the fact that they've got an on-demand, fractional CMO. A lot of flexibility is added to it. So this is one of the ideas. One of the ideas is you cut your costs by working for more than one organizations, and that way the organizations are getting the benefit of your expertise. At the same time, they're also able to get a cost which works to their advantage, and commit to constant learning. This is another thing which I would like to stress, and I take out time every day to learn something new. This never stopped, and I learn through content which is so freely available, like this content which I'm sharing, and I'm sharing with people so that you can learn from me. There are many others who are experts in their field who are sharing their content, and I learn from them. So I'm constantly learning. You have to be ready to learn and be flexible. Absolutely be flexible, absolutely, because markets will change. You will need to pivot. I had to shift businesses. I had to pivot ideas. I am not stuck to this is all that I can do. If markets are shifting, I need to learn to shift with the markets. I need to learn to leverage what's new that's coming up. Like if AI is coming up, I need to learn to leverage AI. All these things are beneficial. In my closing, that if I have to tell you something, I would tell one thing that's very important for you to stay relevant, and to for you to despite of your age, be relevant at any age, is learn to become a contributor mindset. Not about a getting mindset. What am I going to get? What am I going to get? This whole thinking about me, myself. Shift that mindset into becoming a contributor mindset. Very important. Second is important is enjoy your journey. Have fun on the journey. Don't get stuck. After all, it's it's life, and it's if you're not going to have fun, if you're not going to enjoy what you're doing, what you're passionate about, there's no point about it, right? So if you have to enjoy your journey, you have to figure out what you're passionate about. Your niche has to be something which you really love to do, because what you love to do shows up finally to people. Like I'm doing this podcast. I love to do this, right? I love to communicate. I was always a communicator. I love to tell stories, something which I've always been doing. I've always loved this space of marketing. So I'm passionate about these things. When I'm passionate about something, it shows up, and people see that energy from you. It's very important, and just keep on at it. No matter what your age, whether it's your 20 or 30, 40, 50, 60, you can stay relevant in the marketplace if you have this contributor mindset, if you have this entrepreneurial skill. That's another important thing I want to leave you with. One message I want to leave you with is for everyone, whether you're in a job or whether you're not in a job, build an entrepreneurial mindset. In a job, also think of yourself as you're owning a business, and all the people you're interacting with, all the people who are working with you, they are your clients. I mean, your internal clients, your external clients. And when you start seeing everything as being an entrepreneurial mindset, you're building that muscles. And what is that muscle? That muscles means you should be able to take risks. Tomorrow, if you have to take risks, you should be able to take risks. If you fail, you should learn to get up and get back on track. That's what it is all about. Become an entrepreneur, become an entrepreneurial mindset, whether you're in a job, whether you're not in a job, and be ready. And so you will be then ready to face up to this ageism that's happening, and you will have turned it around to your advantage. Do share your thoughts, do share your comments. I read all the comments, and it tells me that what I'm sharing with you, the content is useful for you. And enjoy the second act. Thank you.